today's video, I'm going to explain to you why your boyfriend is most likely a homosexual, especially if he lives in Massachusetts. I'm going to explain it to you. When I was growing up, long before it was chic, before it was fashionable, before it was a trend to stick up for the gay community, I was one of the first people I knew who was willing to put myself in front of these kids, help them out if I saw them getting beat up or hurt. Me and my friends actually hung out with a kid who I remember, he unfortunately had a rough upbringing, just in the sense that these were in the days where it was still okay to say faggot, homo, you're a fairy, and this kid got the brunt of it. He was clearly gay, and luckily I feel like, he had me and some of my buddies were always there to look up for him, help him out. There were definite times when we protected him, and I never liked that. I thought it was messed up. He was a great kid, and he wasn't the only one. I worked with a kid who I met who, I believe he was from Tennessee. He had to move away because just being gay and being, again, this was the 90s, totally different. Growing up down south or the Midwest or whatever, it wasn't an easy thing. But what made me angry, and this is why I'm going to explain how your boyfriend to you, okay? What I noticed growing up was this. So as I grew up in my little town, every day I had to deal with the alpha male savage. And they were little savages even when we were kids. What happened is I may have explained in some of the other videos that I put out, I had to deal with these kids' dysfunctional dads. So if your dad was dysfunctional, now you made it my problem too. Okay? Just so you know, again, I don't respect your dad. I don't know him. I don't want him near me. The fact that he couldn't express his emotions, that he came home and slapped your mom around, that's not my problem. Keep it away from me. Okay? Your dad being a punk, the fact that I have no respect for your dad is not irrelevant to you, and therefore his behavior should have no relevance to me. So, but anyway, I did have to deal with it. So I'm dealing with these savages that their whole lives were telling all the other guys that they were a fairy, homo, faggot. You know the old routine. If you can't run fast enough, if you can't do enough push-ups, you're not worthy to hang out with certain kids. And these kids would bully the other kids. You all know how it goes. And I noticed that if someone was gay or feminine, or maybe they weren't gay, maybe they were just not the toughest kid, out came the insults. You're a homo, you're a faggot, you're a queer, blah, 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 blah. It was normal. Again, going back to now it may, these words are looked at as hate words. Again, I got to remind you, for you younger kids, it wasn't like that back then. You could call someone a faggot and no one really blinked an eye. Luckily now we live in a new age where you can't really do that now. And I'll do other videos. I also think we are too sensitive and we're too politically correct. But with calling someone a faggot, I'm totally against that. That's one area where I don't really have a problem with the political correctness. I also don't like words like bitch and cunt and all that other stuff. Calling a girl that, I think, is just horrible. But anyway, back to the story. What I noticed would happen was this. These savages, these dysfunctional alpha male cartwheel and circus monkeys who I grew up with, and they were everywhere. They were all over the state of Massachusetts. They're actually all over the world, but we're going to focus on Massachusetts for a minute. But I'm sure wherever else you live in the world, you can relate. What I noticed was, as we got older, especially into our teen years. Okay, now this is why your boyfriend might be a homosexual. I'm going to get into this now. You're okay. I'm going to explain it to you. What happened was this. These same monkeys that went around calling everyone a faggot, everyone a homo, these same monkeys that thought nothing of beating up someone because he was gay, and in most cases he was probably doing it because he was trying to deal with the emotions of his dysfunctional dad at home, which I already explained that. What I noticed was these same guys, these same alpha males, these Massachusetts tough guy, because in Massachusetts we're told since we're birth from birth, this is one of the toughest places you can live. Like, you're tough. You know, them city boys, you know, we was all tough. We was tough. It's an ideology that's put into your head since the day you're born. If you're not tough, you're nothing, right? Again, I want nothing to do with this savage. This is how they behaved. This, luckily for me, the men in my family didn't push this on me, but I'd go to school and I had to deal with these savages. What I noticed was, and here now I'm getting to this part, to the title of the video, I noticed that these same savages that would beat up someone for being gay displayed the most flamboyant homosexual tendencies to the point where it was more gay than the gay people I knew. Let me explain. First thing I noticed as I moved into my teenage years and then into adolescence, I noticed that, or maybe teenage and adolescence are the same, I don't know how you consider it. The first thing I noticed was that these men, these alpha males, would rather spend time with the guys than with the girls. In other words, you always have these situations, you know, leave the girls at home, guys night out. I don't want guys night out. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want guys night out with you. When it's guys night out or it's the guys alone drinking in the woods, and I don't drink, but when the guys got together and drank in the woods, or they got together, they're having their little clubhouse, I got nervous. The minute it's all guys and there's no girls around, I want nothing to do with that. I'm all set. It's gay to me, okay? I want nothing to do with you. The other thing I noticed was how willing guys were to show their genitals to each other, whether it be in the locker room, whether it be, you know, in the bathroom, the urinal. I was talking to Joe before we filmed this video. We looked it up on the laptop over here. They used to have a trough at Fenway Park. A trough. Okay? It was this big bucket. All I remember is being a kid and going to this thing. I went to a couple baseball games, right? And standing there. I'm like 7 years old, maybe 8, 9, something like that. And you're peeing. I mean, all the guys are just lined up. See, now you go to the bathroom and the urinals have these like little cardboard border things, so you go in the bathroom, no one can really see you. That's kind of a new thing. I remember pretty much any public bathroom, school bathroom, they didn't really have those back then. So you pee and you're like peeing in front of everybody. Now the alpha male had no problem with this. The alpha male, the construction worker, he's doing the push-ups, he's lifting the weights, he's going to work, he's working construction, and he builds the urinal, and there's no border. So he's peeing in front of the other guys. So again, this same savage who's calling everyone a homo and a faggot is building a urinal where everyone can see his penis where he goes to the bathroom. Fenway Park, in my opinion, was the worst one. I haven't been to Fenway Park in years. I don't know if the troughs are still there. Don't know, don't care. But at one point in time, it was like everybody was standing next to each other showing their genitals, you know, in front of this big bucket. You know, anytime I'm in a locker room, public shower, you know, you see me, I got my back turned. I don't want no one seeing what's going on there. I don't want to see anyone else, right? These dudes are walking around, peckers hanging out, the whole thing, right? I ain't down with that, right? But I noticed this alpha male savage. Now again, I would let it go. I would let it go. But the problem is, the alpha male, when I grew up, this dysfunctional alpha male, was beating up gay people, calling everyone a homo, calling me a homo for sticking up for these poor kids. And then he goes out, and I come to find out these guys are the biggest. I mean, the gay behavior is just out of control. They're acting more gay than a gay person would. Now as we move into the new, you know, this 2016, this new age of technology, I am surrounded by men, by friends, who have made a hobby. Their pastime is mailing pictures of their genitals to each other. So I'll be hanging out with one of my friends and my buddy will be like, hey, check this out. And he puts his phone right in front of my face, and now I'm looking at someone's pecker who I've been hanging out with for 10 or 15 years. Most of my guy friends, I've seen their pecker now. I didn't ask to see their genitals. I didn't ask to see their penis, right? I've just seen it because people are waving around pictures of it. They're sending it to each other. And then this is the other thing too. Guys like to come up to me and like put their arms around me. They try to like slap me in the genitals, touch me certain ways. They're grabbing each other's butts. They're making gay jokes about each other, sending pictures of their penis. Now again, these savages were beating up gay people growing up. Some of these savages are still running around saying, screw the homos, I hate gay marriage, blah, 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 blah. But yet, then they're churning around sending pictures of their genitals to each other. You know, leave the girls at home, let's have a guy's night, let's all get sweaty and drink beer. This is what this savage does. And I noticed it. on this video, you will see the title is "Your Boyfriend's Probably a Homosexual," because he probably is. This is no disrespect. I don't want anyone in my... I've been building an audience over the years with my blog and my speaking engagements. I know there's a massive population of my audience that is gay. This is not meant to be making fun of gay people and an insult to them. I think most people that know me by now and that are familiar with my material, they know I'm 100% for the gay community. I think gay marriage should be legal. I'm not nuts about it. I don't go out of my way like waving around. Because I think what's happening is a lot of people are jumping on the gay cause because they don't want to be known as the person that's not on the cause, if that makes any sense. It's like, I better let everyone know I'm for gay rights, because if I don't, they might confuse me as being a bigot. That's not the case. I didn't jump on this bandwagon. I've always been for it. I lay low about it because I just don't want people to think I'm jumping on it as part of a trend. So when I say in the title of the video, "Your boyfriend's probably a homosexual," that isn't against gays, that isn't hurting gays. This video is defending gay people. The reason I put that as the title is because I know it will drive these alpha male savages up the wall. I know these monkeys react to insults. They're very easy to agitate. I wanted to put a provocative title that went right for the throat, that made them understand, made them want to watch it, and kind of jabbed it and put it back in their face. Like, listen, man, you made a career out of making fun of gay people, and now you turn around and, dude, no offense, dude. I don't need you. This is the other thing I noticed about the alpha male savage. He wants to always ask me about my like sexual, like private, personal information. Like, he wants to know how big my wiener is, what I did with this girl, what I did with that girl. That's what this savage does. Again, this same savage was making fun of gay people 20 years ago, and now he's asking me about my genitals. This is what the savage does, okay? Your boyfriend is probably one of these people. He's probably... How many times has your boyfriend said, "Hey, we're going to leave the girls at home. It's just the guys tonight"? That's what they do. They want the guys. They want the sausage fest. This is what these guys do. Get what I'm saying? So I've just made a beautiful argument as why your boyfriend... Maybe he's not homosexual. He probably has homosexual tendencies. And again, this needs to be exposed. This needs to be put out there. Because I got so worn out and sick of seeing people I thought were good people getting beat up simply because they weren't straight, or maybe they're bisexual, or whatever it was. I've seen it happen to girls too. And then it's got to be pointed out, this video had to be made, the fact that as I got older, right down the line, all these savages pretty much displayed the exact same behavior that they were supposedly against. I want to end by saying this. I find it funny how people point to the Bible as being against homosexuality. The thing I notice with the Bible is that there's a whole list of rules for sexual conduct. And I know many people who say you're going to hell because you're gay, but then they break every other rule in the Bible that says don't do this, don't behave this way, don't be all related to sex. So in other words, I can break every other sexual law in the Bible, but as long as I'm not gay, that's okay. Dude, according to your philosophy, we're all going to hell. Do you get what I'm saying? You've picked and choose, and I will get into this in other videos. And I am Catholic. I have nothing against religion. I'm not anti-religion. I have no problem telling people I'm Catholic. I've got a lot of views on religion, which I'll get into in another video. I do go to church, but I want to make it clear. I think the attack on homosexuals by the church has actually shot themselves. It's caused them to shoot themselves in the foot. Again, hopefully I'll get to this in another video. But for today, all you young ladies out there, tell your boyfriends I said hi. Show them this video. That's all. Peace.